مشاهدينا ومستمعينا عبر بودكاست تكمال، أهلا وسهلا بكم في حلقة جديدة. واليوم نستكشف كيف مستقبل الاستشارات في عالم الفنتك. كلنا نعرف أن الاستشارات عادة ما ترتبط كثير بأنك أنت تقدم منتجات. التجربة اللي بنستكشفها معاكم اليوم هي تجربة استشارات من شخص تعرف على السوق عن كثب وطلع بمنتجات يقدمها لجمهوره المستهدف.
عندك مشروع صغير أو متوسط، تفكر تكبره تطوره، يمكن تحتاج رأس مال أو مشورة تساعدك تقفز للخطوة الجاية. هنا موارد اللي موجودين من 2006 ويقدمون تمويل إسلامي مصمم خصيصا لأصحاب المشاريع الصغيرة والمتوسطة، بحيث يمشون وياك خطوة بخطوة، يعني تقدر تعتبرهم شريكك في النجاح. ابدأ اليوم وخل طموحك يكبر مع موارد للتمويل.
دكتور هارون Darcy, thank you for being with us, and it's really pleasure to have you.
Well, Abdullah, thank you for having us. Thank you for having me on this podcast. It's a privilege for us also, and for me personally, thank you very much for that also. I think it's a great opportunity to start talking about various things that you want to talk about and to have that voice. So thank you also for having us.
It's so inspiring to see people with experience going to the new direction of technology. Normally people will stay resisting that. So you are a demonstration of technology and experience. Tell me about how did you start thinking of fintech while your experience in traditional banking?
Yeah, you know, Abdullah, it's important the old guard or the old experiences doesn't get lost, and it's always there. I mean, my 27 odd years of banking moved through operations, compliance, technology, risk. So there's a big wealth of understanding. Yeah, but it evolved over a period of time, and it evolved through various strategies and through various banking operations locally and globally. But I finally ended up in the operational environments of banks, and I finally ended up as the technology heads of very many banks. Yeah. Also starting very many branches of banks in various countries. We done DIB Kenya. Yeah. We done Indonesia, we done Saudi Arabia, we done Turkey. So even starting all those little banks and the environments, those experiences led from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. And finally, towards the end, I said, I need to sit back now and understand, what am I seeing, what am I constantly building, and what am I rehashing? And one day I woke up and I said, I think it's time to start looking at what I think we're doing consistently repetitive and what should be changed. Take the technology experiences of budgets and processes and take the experiences of operations and business acumen and put it together and see. I took 2 months. I sat 2 months and did nothing. I went to the beach and I came back. Yeah. Inshallah, it struck me and said, you got to do something differently.
That's really amazing. Yeah. And what do you see now, the direction of fintech? Yeah. Let me rephrase it. Where we are at when it comes to fintech, because it's risky to start consultancy in a market that is not mature. So where do you see the market?
So listen, I think you're absolutely right. I think many fintechs start up, they just die along the way. Some actually get very far. I think it is about what the strategy is and what the vision of that particular fintech is. When we woke up, when we decided to do this, and we said, listen, consulting is a consultant activity. There's the PwCs, there's Ernst & Young's, and there's many others that are just generally there as consultants. What value are you going to add as a consultant? We looked at that. We thrashed through the pros and cons of that. Then we looked at what is it, the technology that's there, that's already working, that you don't want to rehash. And then you looked at what is the business processes that are there. Forget about banks only, just general. What are the business processes that are there that bother me or that bother us in a surrounding, in a small modulese, even just talking generally to people over brunch or to lunch,
Okay.
So then when we sat down, we said, listen, take away all the noise. Where do we see the pain points? And that is when, you start understanding and building something towards that.
Okay.
And I guess your next question is what are the pain points?
Exactly. That's very interesting way of looking at consultants. So you know the pains.
Yeah.
You know where is the pain with the traditional
Yeah.
banking or with the new ideas of fintech, and you started from there. So what's the pinpoint? Yeah.
So listen, and we'll get into AI at some other, later in the discussion. We have our views on AI, and if you look at our site, we're doing something on AI. But, I took and I said, what is the most hindering, most manually intensive, most high risk activity that are happening around NBFI, small banks, bigger banks, any financial institution, card systems. And I took away all of the stuff that I don't really want to get involved in, that we as a fintech will be over our head with.
Yeah.
Don't want to compete with Oracle, SAP, IBM. They just have far too much R&D for this.
Yes.
What is it that will make a difference in all of these organizations? We drew the map. I drew the map. I had 3 or 4 things in my head all the time, but I drew the map and I excluded the pros and cons of 1 or 2 where we don't have the investment, we don't have the skill. It is just too long a process to change. Bigger banks and many organizations to change, they have these buses that they ride. And to change that bus, to turn the bus is a huge cost, time and effort. What is it that I can take a minibus and use a quick roundabout and come back and change the process? So we went through that process very methodically. And then I came out to 2 or 3 products, and I'm only going to look at these. I said 90% of most organizations, whether you're an MBFI or whether you're a big bank, whether you're a small merchant, is a reconciliation process. How do I match A with B? How do I match many of A with one of B, many of B with one of A?
Yeah.
How do I? And when I understood this, and I said, let me go back, and I've worked for the cities of life, I've worked for major banks. When I went back and I said, 90% of this problem is manually intensive.
Yeah.
It changes every day. It's high volume. It is just a nightmare. Then I went a step lower and I took my CIO hat and I said, what did that normally cost me in these various banks?
Yeah.
The cost was high, the infrastructure was high, the process was high, the AMC, the cost to maintain this was high. And I said, I am going to look at this as a specific product. I went to 1 or 2 technology companies. I wrote for about a month and a half, me personally, a requirement, both the functional, business, and technical requirements.
Great.
And now Darcy has a smart AI-based recons.
So you developed a system that will be a back end, or how it works?
We have already got the system developed. It's in its final independent testing.
Okay.
That we will go to organizations and we will say, your heavy infrastructure, your heavy reconciliation processes, these reconciliations of every business process that you bring every day, you can now plug in it, and you can now do what you do with Outlook. I want to see this, give me that, mark me out of order, mark me this, match this with match this. And then we put an engine of AI layer in it that says, as you do my reconciliations every day, I should get smarter and I should get easier, and it should make this reconciliation easier for me every day.
Wow.
So alhamdulillah, we've developed this. This is up and running now. It's on our site. It's called Darcy AI Recons. It is built for the common man. It's built for us, normal human beings. It is built for NBFIs, for bigger banks. The point behind this was, after much of deliberation and strategic view, is how to make life easier with AI, but augmented with human beings. AI should not be replacing. it will at some point, but right now augmented by human beings.
Yeah.
And this is the process of augmenting human beings with the multi-reconciliation process.
It's really it's really makes sense that you go with such solution. And how is the response from the market?
So we have we're gonna probably launch it, and maybe even launch it with you at some point in time.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna launch it. I just want, given my credibility in the market, I have a huge credibility in the market. I want to make sure that it's independently tested, it's functional, it works. Because we don't want to go to market with something that's all fancy and fair and just doesn't work for for its purpose.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to launch it in about 2-3 weeks' time. We have spoken to, and this is the interesting part. Most people say a reconciliation system matches a bank statement with something else. It's financial to financial. We're reconciling anything to anything.
Okay.
There's a small little manufacturing company that's struggling with their invoices.
Yes.
They're struggling with their stock. So we're going to give them that, and they're going to match this with that, because it's about data to data.
Exactly.
And the AI engine doesn't care what it matches. It just understands what is the rules.
Yes.
We're going to go to banks. There's small banks that are absolutely very interested in this, because now it takes away their cost, takes away their high processes, and they manage it. We're not competing with Oracles and the big fives, but we are challenging as a challenger to make life simpler for us that are not a big five corporate.
Wow. You mentioned AI.
Yeah.
Why you are introducing AI in such system?
Yeah. So, Abdullah, AI for us, and again, one of the reasons that we're looking at starting Darcy, and if you see the spelling of it is DHARSI, A and the I, and there's a little bridge over it, like an Amazon type bridge.
I saw it.
So it just makes it look cool,
Yeah.
I guess the point for us, and the point for me particularly, is, there's a lot of hype around AI. There's a lot of hype around AI. There's a lot of missed budgeted costs. There's a lot of wrong processes done, and there's a lot of budgets, in my view, applied to processes that suggest it's AI, but it's just not AI. So we took a step back with AI before we done this product, and we said, we ourselves, are we literate in AI? So we went through a process of understanding, how do we understand what is AI literacy, including the developers that's doing our work. Are you literate on AI? Do you understand? AI is not ChatGPT and it's not Copilot. Do you understand this?
That's very authentic to do it, because normally people go on the wave and it's like,
they go on the wave, they start hiring people. The guy says,
yeah.
if you looked at LinkedIn and many other social media, everybody's an AI expert and can develop. But the point is, we stood back and said, where is this? Are we literate? And we made sure we first become literate, understanding AI, joining organizations that are AI literate and giving exposure to AI. And AI literacy is, even now, to be quite honest, Abdullah, becoming a big part of our business, because people want to understand. CEOs and many people in that I'm affiliated with are saying, "Oh, my team told me this AI." It is not AI. Do you understand that, sir? Yes, it's not AI. How do we? So first, you need your people to understand that it's AI, and that take up is becoming more and more. We're seeing a lot of take up on that. So people are wanting to understand. Okay, let's stop this bus. Become literate. Trust AI. The literacy must come with trust. AI must come with trust. If you don't trust it, then you're back into the square one of doing what we used to do in the internet before. I don't know how young you are. I'm saying how young. You remember many years we started the internet and then nobody wanted to do it. And then we put payments on the internet after many years. And now we're doing a lot more with the internet, and IoT is there. This is going to be the same process. It's going to be there. It's going to crash. It's already crashing. People are saying, now, what do we do? How do we secure this? What is the trust around AI? I'm saying all of that is there, but we need to understand the literacy first. So we're talking to universities. We got a Indian university wanting to talk to us and saying, our students do marketing, accounting. They do all of these things. And we don't want to change all of that, because we can't change it all. We're not the experts. But we can come and tell you that with your marketing, learn AI literacy. With your accounting, learn AI literacy. With this, learn AI literacy. So when you leave university, you're competitive It's going to be an AI guy sitting out there. It's going to be a little robot sitting out there.
Wow.
So when you leave with your degree, understand the literacy so that you can compete with him. You know?
I hear you, like making a difference to your team by taking this step backward. And I know also that in the studio also with us, your son is with us and in your company, a member of your company. So why are you taking these initiatives to go to universities and educate people at your...
So we're getting approach for us because people are seeing our approach. People are saying that we are not going to say Recon is AI driven by the fact that we have the word AI. We are saying Recon is AI driven because we understood what it needs to do. We understood what it needs to develop. We understood what the benefit for the business must be at the end of this, and what AI's role in this must be. So that is, and they understanding we talk in this way. And I do a lot of speeches. You know this. I stand up in a lot of conferences and I talk and I say, AI, go back to the basics. The next generation should be AI enabled because their competitor is not another guy from another university sitting there. It's going to be an AI agent.
Yes.
And when that AI agent speaks or does something, this university student should come and say, I know my academics. I also know AI. I think you should be doing ABC differently.
So should we trust AI agents? Like, do you trust them in programming now?
Listen, again, at one speech, I was asked this particular question, do I trust AI? There must be an element of trust. But listen, AI is no different to a human being. It augments human being, and it's going to be no different. Human beings are developing AI, and they're developing those strategies. You may be surprised, we already have AI hackers. It's already out.
That's interesting.
It's already out. So you can then program an AI agent or AI process to default whatever you're wanting to do, and it will be fraudulent. So how can you trust it? Is by ensuring that you are literate to understand what it's doing and that you augment this as a human being. You don't just say, AI does everything for me, because it can go wrong and it can be attacked. Cybersecurity today, and you're right, my son is sitting here, he has a master's in cybersecurity. He looks at those components for us. And I tell you honestly, we're surprised by seeing what's happening on the dark side of cybersecurity. And AI, I'm a big supporter of AI, but it needs to be trusted, it needs to be augmented with human beings, and it needs to be rolled out strategically and probably with a lot of oversight, more than oversight, governance.
Yeah. And to that point, how do you see the market in UAE when it comes to regulations and governance?
Listen, I think I say this, I was chairman of the United Banks Federation IT Committee for all the banks for many years. I think, and not because I'm sitting in the UAE, I think we've moving steps ahead of many others in the world. I think Dubai has recently rolled out little labels for AI. At the back of that label of AI, if your company is AI certified, at the back of that label, they got some processes that they've managed to put in, to check with. Very good. There is nowhere even in the world, even in structured economies like South Africa, UK, and London. Listen, governance on AI is work in progress. I think the UAE and the central bank are moving ahead with it. I think it must also come from the literacy, from the lower levels of our students and our community towards where we need to go, because everybody gets influenced by somebody else in terms of a word AI, in terms of a word Bitcoin, in terms of a word whatever. But I think our central bank and our governance authorities are, we're not there yet. I don't believe we're there yet, but I think we are steps ahead of many others. Really, really steps ahead of many, many other economies that I know about. But frameworks need to be put in place. Governances need to be put in place. We're working with one NBFI to understand the world is regulated also by frameworks and ISO standards. So there's a lot of ISO standards, but there's 2 or 3 specifically ISO standards, the 27,000, which is an ISO standard, but particularly the ISO 42,000, which is an AI standard.
Okay.
When you get that as an IO stamp, then you've got the world to say that I'm literate, I understand what I'm doing, I've got a global stamp on this. Now why will you not trust me? It'll be very difficult not to trust you. Cybersecurity comes every day and there's breaches every day, but you're in a better position. So we work in, and one of our pillars of the organization is to help organizations get to that AI ISO standard.
Yeah, great. I hear you, and I researched that. I know that you are a lot focused on security.
Yeah.
And when we speak about fintech, it's like very challenging when it comes to security, at least for the audience, like for the perceiver, the customers, the end users, they are concerned. How do you see the security level at the moment?
Listen, again, I think the security level, and if I just 1 minute delve on, say, the big financial institutions, the bigger ones that we know around in the markets, this is a priority for them. They're investing a lot of money in this. They're putting all kinds of cyber firewalls and processes in place. You're right now. From the fintech perspective, this is a heavy load. It's a heavy cost. Those that putting in the security knows this, and they're charging a lot for this.
Yeah.
So I think the fintechs, we just met a few fintechs the other day. They're focusing only on what Darcy is trying to do. Take the big systems and make it smaller, simpler for others to use. They're looking at trying to do this, but the fintechs are struggling. The fintechs will continue to struggle. They're associating themselves with bigger organizations so that they leverage off the cost and the processes and the firewalls behind those organizations because they're just too small. The cost is just too high for them, you know. But I think it's not going to be a long time, Abdullah, before these fintechs break through this and saying,
okay,
this is the firewall that we'll use. It cost us X amount of dollars, not X amount of $1 million. And now we'll start challenging the markets. I think it's pretty close for that, but they are working hard towards it. It is challenging right now.
I hear that. And what other challenges also facing the fintech from your perspective?
Listen, I think fintechs get challenged by the bigger brothers of similar processes. I'm using an example. Stripe will challenge certain payment ones. WorldPlay will challenge certain smaller ones. The big risk systems, the big core banking systems will challenge small parties that want to change within that core banking. But what I think is interesting, Abdullah, and I think what is happening, and we're certainly supporting that now, in the last core banking change that I made with one of, I won't mention the name, but with one of the smaller NBFIs, these big core banking systems, that banks put in there and say, oh, my systems are in now. They're big, they're heavy.
Yeah.
What the fintechs are now doing is saying, let us not do this heavy one, let's do modules.
Yeah.
Let's do a module of payment, a module of your check clearing, a module of your teller system, a module. So if you want to change any one of this, we'll just change one of them and it will start changing. So it's becoming boxed banking. So that we don't have to change this whole big bus as we move along all the time, So fintechs are seeing that as an opportunity, and they're going to organizations, including manufacturing organizations, to say, don't take this big, long bus and heavy application. Take modules, and we specialize in that modules.
Okay.
And I think that is where they're starting to get the advantage right now, including payments, including settlements. I'm using Darcy. If Darcy is example of that, is now going to put recount into that big bus and say, don't put this in your big bus, put it on your side and change it as you need.
Yeah. What other examples of these opportunities?
So banks and risk systems and even manufacturing, they all have an element of risk.
Yeah.
Cyber risk, network risk. They have an element of central bank regulatory risk. They have an element of fraud risk. They have an element of many risks. So what the fintechs are saying, let me take them one at a time out for you so that you don't have to do this anymore. And this is Darcy's, inshallah, another 1.5 months. Darcy worked with 2-3 small fintechs. And we said, let us help you. Don't change anything of these major systems. Take 2 or 3 of these major systems and take the data, the logs. Data is black gold.
Yeah.
Take the data of this and showcase that data through Darcy, through these AI engines, through its intelligence activity. We call it Darcy's EGRC AI, and start showing to the manager, the chief risk officer, the CEO. Start showing them data that they haven't seen, data that they only know because somebody's presented it to them.
Yeah.
At the end of the month. So the fintechs are going, and we're working with one or two of them to say, look, show this data, show these things to people, and don't let. I sit in a lot of meetings. As a senior executive, I sit in a lot of meetings, and we sit there and we wait for this head of this department, that head of the cybersecurity, that head of IT to come and tell us what is wrong. Now the fintechs are saying, not only are we going to tell you what is, we're going to tell you how often it is wrong, when was it wrong, and what is the mitigation to fix that. Learning through AI, predictively now. So your organization using a network, your network here. If your network goes down, it went down, you fix it up, some network guy comes in to fix it up. 2 months later, it goes down again, it went down, you don't know the cause. Now our engines are going to start saying, predictive, by the way, you're going to go down because we saw similar patterns in the similar upgrade that happened last time, and you're going to probably go down again. We're going to now predict to you that you're probably going to go down on your network before you even go down on your network. That is where these fintechs are now coming in and helping and getting things done. It now needs to be predictive.
Yes.
Can you imagine Emirates Bank or any one of the major banks going down on their network?
No
their
way.
mobile banking, everything will go berserk.
Yes.
All the major banks. We are now going to go to them and say, we know that you've gone down 10 times, we've taken your logs. We're putting that into an AI engine. We understood what it meant. We saw 3 times you went down because you didn't do a patch. We're now going to tell you to do the patch before you go down again. See, so that is where the fintechs are coming in, and they're saying, we're going to help you build the stuff.
Yeah. It's a new era of looking at technology. I see fintechs are like, the innovation are different than any technology. Like, it's really very disruptive to a market which used to be traditional for a long time. Now, do you see that we solved all the problems, or it's not only about problems when it comes to fintech?
No, I don't think we've solved all the problems, and it's also not just about problems. You're 100% correct. It is about what your customer now expects, what your new customer expects from you. Forget about the process or service that you're offering, what it expects, and how ready are you to serve that. Many years ago, the same Dayan, we were introducing mobile banking and ABC, and then he was walking with this little watch, and he was pressing on his watch, and I said, what the hell are you doing, buddy? We're walking in the mall here, He sent cash to our local bank. He took out the cash with some code, and he continued to walk on.
Yeah.
It didn't even take him 2 seconds, and he got the cash and continued to walk on. Traditionally, I would have gone to the ATM, put my card in there. Now let's go and get something to eat.
Yeah.
That process now is 10 times exploded. Not only do you want to not only use your watch, you maybe just want to go to past the ATM, face recognize you something, and say, press a button that says your transactional AI says your transactional activity is 200 every 3 months. Do you want 200 now, or do you want 150? It should tell you this. It is solving problems for the generations to come. It needs to solve this, and we need to become agile. We need to become disruptive is one, but we need to become a lot more predictive. Predictive now needs to be, and those organizations that servicing need to become predictive. They need to know that they're going to get the cybersecurity hack. They need to know they did not patch their system. They didn't know that the central bank is coming to audit to them, and they don't have these items there. Not when the central bank comes and tells them you don't have this. They need to know all of this. It's not impossible anymore.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I see that.
So that is where it is. So it's a problem solving operational issues for those that want to get better, and it's a problem for solving customer service issue that those want to get even better for their customers.
And that's always evolving, like customers and need and like they are doesn't stop demanding.
It doesn't. I'm telling you, you go to restaurants. Kids today sitting in their pram are playing with something. They're playing with some type of digital activity. that guy's going to be walking, the minute he's out of that pram or something, he's going to be demanding 2 or 3 other things.
Yeah.
You know? My daughter, mashallah, is also a teacher, but the smaller grades. And she's telling me, you know, she showed us a video the other day. There's a guy sitting on a podcast. They were in a camp, and she's teaching them how to speak on the mics. Wow. And he's one guy talking to the other guy. You played football yesterday, but I think you made a mistake there.
Fantastic.
And he's saying ABC, and he's picking up his phone. He said, "Here's my camera. I didn't make a mistake." He's showing him. Amazing, huh?
Yeah. It's amazing how the technology now, it's embedded in our life. We used to like use it when we are like out there somewhere, but it's like embedded in life. What do you see the strategy or the vision of Darcy in the future, where you will be?
Listen, I think Darcy needs to continually assess where it can help organizations better themselves operationally, ensure that the cybersecurity risk and the cyber risk around the environment are as comfortable for them as possible. This is going to be a growing threat, cybersecurity. It's going to go every day. Darcy needs to make sure that AI, in our environments that we're talking about, AI is understood. We are literate around AI. AI is used for the purpose that it needs to be used for. And we do not want to become Oracle, but we do absolutely want to become an organization that when you come to us with a operational efficiency need, with a customer service improvement need that you need to do, then we must truthfully help you with best technologies that are available in the market for your specific business. We do not aim to open up a shop and you just come to us and we continue leverage and give you. It'll be selective. It'll be where we can possibly help. And if we can't help, we can't help. You know, if there's something that we just not have that mining, we just will not do. You know, mining we will not do because we just don't understand it. Yeah. You know, although I'm South African, I should be a miner, but I just don't understand it.
And for young generation, newcomers and new entrepreneurs, or even people who are in the industry like you who want to join the fintech, what do you tell them about this market?
Listen, I think the whole UAE is an exciting market. I think the region is growing. You know, and I know that you hear all of these millions and billions in data centers, in AI investments. I think it is an exciting market. I think there's a lot of opportunities looked at differently. If you look at it differently, there's a lot of opportunities. I encourage youngsters to explore their natural talents. You know, it doesn't have to be a technical talent. It can be any other talent. But I think as we evolve through these processes, technology is going to play a bigger and bigger part of it, irrespective of which industry you are in. So I would talk to, and we are talking to many of these young entrepreneurs. Financial literacy is one. Understand how to manage your money and ABC, that's one. But I think understanding where the future is going to go, how you're going to interact with these. I'm a supporter of AI. I think it's going to take a period of time, but I think it's eventually going to be there, not to replace everybody, but to augment everybody. And that is why I'm telling you earlier that these universities, when we talk to them, we say, do your modules and your degrees as you do, but augment it and supplement it with this, because as you go out, your competition is not going to be another university guy. It's going to be slightly different. So finally, that is the answer, is that these youngsters, these millennials, these people explore, venture, dabble in technology.
Fantastic. And if any one of them want to reach you,
I'm open to be reached. I haven't I had a boss once in an international bank, and they put me in Prague, and I came onto his desk and I said, I want to talk to you about something, and I moved all his stuff. He told me to get out. He moved his stuff back. Then he told me to come back in, and he said, "You're coming to my house. Don't move my stuff. Now sit down and tell me what you want." I learned from that. And I tell you, come into the house, understand what is it that you're wanting to talk about, let's see if we are able to help. If we're not, we know a lot of people in the industry. We'll guide you to the right expertise or the right SME. Inshallah, you'll be guided on the right path. We will guide with what we know and how best we can. But come in, talk, explore, and venture.
Yeah, explore. I like that. Amazing. Thank you, Dr. Haaron, for this interesting conversation, and we will be connected, and people will be connected with you.
Inshallah, we'll, Abdullah, I think, thank you again. I think you're amazing. You're doing a lot in your part, in your community. And maybe, inshallah, maybe we'll come to talk about the recount and the HRC to you and the literacy to you a little bit more. Also happy to have whoever you want to talk with us, and we'll happy to. But thank you also very much, Abdullah, and we're also very happy to be associated with you. Yeah.
Thank you. Great.
All right.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
شكرا لمتابعتكم ووصولكم إلى ختام هذه الحلقة. نتشرف بهذه المتابعة، وأبغيكم تشاركونها مع كل اللي ممكن يستفيدون. نبغي نوصل هذه الفائدة لأكبر جمهور ممكن من خلالكم، من خلال اهتمامكم. شاركونا آراءكم في التعليقات. أيضا اشتركوا في قناة اليوتيوب، قناة صناعة المال، وكونوا معنا متواصلين عبر كل قنوات التواصل الاجتماعي. السلام عليكم.